Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial, and in this one I'm going to show you how to create this adorable crochet dress. Very simple and easy. All the adjustments for sizing will be listed in the description box. So let's just get started. You're going to need some yarn. I am using 4-ply worsted weighted yarn, and I'm also using a size 6.0 millimeter hook, which is equivalent to the letter J size. You can definitely swap out the yarn for the yarn of your choice. We are starting with a slip knot, and then we are going to move on to our foundation chain. So for the foundation chain, you want to chain a total of 54. So to chain, you basically just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and once you get to the 54, I'm just making sure that I am counting. You want to make sure that your foundation is straight, and we're going to go right into row 1. In row 1, we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook and in every chain across. Okay, so you're going to make sure that you count and make sure that you locate the 4th chain from the hook. You're going to yarn over and insert your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. That is a double crochet. This is the only stitch that you will need to know throughout this entire process is the double crochet. So it's really simple, and again, it's going to be so easy. So you yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And so forth, and you just continue until the end of this row. Okay guys, so now I finished the first row and I have 52 stitches, so you should have 52 as well. Where you skipped and went into the 4th chain from the hook, those 3 stitches prior does count as a double crochet. So now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to flip our work, or should I say turn our work, and we're going to go ahead and start on row 2. Row 2 is very simple. We're just going to double crochet in each of the top stitches from the previous row across. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into that 2nd stitch because your chain 3 does count as a double crochet. So we're going to go right into the top of the previous stitch, and we're going to continue to do our double crochet. So guys, as I stated, you're going to do double crochets in each stitch across to complete the 2nd row. You want to make sure that you insert your hook underneath the 1st stitch so you will have a V on top. Okay guys, so I am now at the end of row 2, and for row 3, we're going to chain 3 as we are going to do between each row and round and turn our work. And row 3 is where our increases begin. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in the 1st stitch. Now remember, our chain 3 does count as a double crochet, so this is our 2nd one. We're going to move to the next stitch, and we're doing 1 double crochet. And for the next stitch, we're putting 2 double crochets. So your pattern is 2 1 2 1 2 1 all the way until you get to the other end. Okay guys, just continue the pattern, and you're going to see that your work is starting to turn. I have a little bend to it, which is what it's supposed to do. So now I'm at the end of row 3, and we want to connect our work because we're going to start working in rounds for row 4. And in order to connect our work, we're going to make sure that our project is straight. You don't want it to be turned, so it's going to be really easy for us to begin the working in rounds. So we're just going to join we're working from the top of the dress down. So this is actually your collar. And guys, please make sure that you thumbs up this video if you have not done so yet and you are feeling what you are seeing. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch into the very top of that chain 3, which is what we're going into. Okay, so you're going to yarn over. Once you insert your hook, yarn over, and you're just going to pull it through to secure it. Now we're not connecting the entire neck because we want to leave a part open so that way, you know, you can adjust it or the child's head can fit through easily. Later we will put a button on there. So that is why we're only connecting at the very bottom. Alright guys, so for round number 4, we are going to just make sure that this is tightly secured, and we're going to start with our chain 3. You just want to make sure that you keep your work straight. And for round 4, we're also going to have another pattern because we're going into another row of increases. So you're going to do 1 double crochet in the top of each single double crochet from the previous round. And where there is a double crochet, you're going to go in between and add 3 double crochets. Just follow me. I know it may sound a little weird, but we're just going to start right away. You will be able to differentiate between your single stitches and your double stitches. So you're going to go right in between that last double crochet and start your next pattern, which is the 3. Again, we didn't have to do the double crochet single because that chain 3 counted as 1. So that's your first set. You have 1 single double crochet and 1 triple. Now we're going to go into the next single double crochet from the previous round. You're going to go right into the top of that and complete another double crochet. Okay, and now we're going to go in between the double crochet from the previous round, in between, and we're going to create 3 double crochets. And we're going to complete that pattern all the way around. And I did put the words up at the top, guys. You'll have to pause or maybe jot them down just to get an understanding if you're better at looking visually, reading a pattern, should I say. So the pattern is listed, but you have to look through the video to get the pattern. All right, now you just want to always make sure that you're looking at the previous row and you're going into the right locations. Right now I'm completing my cluster of 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to find that single crochet from the previous row and do a single double crochet. And going in between the double crochet, the 2 double crochets, and I'm creating a cluster of 3. I so hope you guys can get what I'm saying. It makes sense to me, but we all think differently. But if you follow along, it will be super easy, I promise you. I felt such a great accomplishment making this dress. So you're going to do that all the way around. Once you get to the end of round 4, we're going to just go ahead and join that at the top of your chain 3 with a slip stitch. And that is how we're going to join each round. We're going to go into the top of that first chain 3 and slip stitch it. And now to enter into the next round, we're going to chain our 3. And you're going to turn your work. In crochet, you're always working right to left. So now we have to just look at our previous row, and what we're going to do is in each of the single double crochets, we're going to do a double crochet in the top of that. In each of the cluster of 3, we're going to locate the middle of that and going to go into the top of that 3 clustered and create 4 for the next round. We're going to create a cluster of 4. So again, in between the 3, which would be the second double crochet from the previous row, you're going to go into the top of that and create a cluster of 4 double crochets. Now we're going to locate our single one, and we're just going to do another single double crochet, and we're going back to the cluster of 3, finding that middle one, and in that same middle one we're going to create 4 double crochets, and that is our pattern for row 5. And guys, once you start this and the patterns get bigger, or should I say the double crochets get bigger, it's going to be so easy for you to locate where you're going into. Again, making sure that you go into the correct one. And guys, I'm just finishing up. I wanted you to kind of see how I work in real time and kind of follow me that way. Again, your pattern is 1 and 4, 1 and 4 all the way across. So when we get to the end of the row, you can always tell that it's starting to ruffle up, which is what you want. Once you get to the end of that round, you're going to join it with a slip stitch. We're chaining 3 and we're going on to row number 6. Now row number 6 is going to be our last row of increases. So after this row, it'll be so simple, you won't even have to really count anything. We're going to again do 1 double crochet in the previous round that had the 1 double crochet, so that's already done. And now we have our clusters of 4. We're going in between those clusters. So again, this time we're not going into the top of it, we're going in between, and we are going to crochet a cluster of 5 double crochets in that spot. Going right into that same middle of the cluster of 4, and we're now creating a cluster of 5. Now we're going to go look for our single double crochet from the previous row and going into the top of that and creating another single double crochet. Going into the middle of the 4 and creating a cluster of 5 double crochets. There's your single one. We're going to go ahead and create another single double crochet and complete or finish the pattern. Alright guys, so now just so you can see how easy it is to differentiate between the patterns now, you can definitely see them. These are what we call shells, and we're going to go into the top of that chain and do our slip stitch. Again, make sure that you're always going into the top of the chain when we're slip stitching. You're not going into the actual top of the stitch, the previous stitch. So now we're going to chain 3. Okay guys, so for row 7, this is the row where we're going to create our sleeves. Again, this is going to be simple though. Our pattern is going to stay the same. We're going into the middle of our cluster of 5 at the top this time, and we are creating another cluster of 5. So our pattern from now on will be 1 5 1 5 1 5 all the way around. Okay, so that's your first cluster of 5, which I'm going to start to refer to as shells. And so what we're going to do to get ready to do our sleeves, we're going to just create 4 of these sets or 4 clusters. And by sets, I mean the 1 double crochet and then your cluster of 5. And we're going to have 4 of those completed. And I'll let you know then when I get to the end of that how we're going to make our sleeves. It's very simple. Okay, that's our first set of 2. We need to do 2 more before we go into making the sleeve. And I'm just continuing to let you guys see me again in real time to see how the pattern is working out and what it's supposed to look like. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment or just comment if you like it. Let me know what you want to see next. And make sure, like I said, thumbs up if you would like to see more videos like this from me. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and that you share the video. So now that we are at the end of our cluster of 4, we're going to skip 5 shells, okay? All right, guys, so you're going to, again, count the 5 shells, and once you're done counting them, and you're going to get to the previous row that has the 1 double crochet, the single 1 double crochet, we're now going to do a single double crochet right into the top of that previous row. And you want to make sure that you pull it tightly. This is just going to create the little part that you need for the arm flap. And now we're just going to continue our pattern. We're going to go into the middle of that cluster of 5, and we're going to do 5 more double crochets into the top of that one. So basically, you skipping was a way to cinch up the top of the dress to create that sleeve. And once you continue round 7, you will understand. Right now, we're going to create 8 more shells. So we're going to complete the 5 1 5, excuse me, the 1 5 1 5 all the way until we are done, and we are at 8. I'm just going to pause once you get to 8, because then we're just going to do the same thing to the opposite side and create the other sleeve. Alright guys, so once we're here, I'm going ahead and I'm counting my 5 shells, and I'm going to double crochet into that single crochet from the last round. You're just going to make sure that you're not really manipulating your work that much. You don't want to have it turned and, do this the wrong way. So again, do your double crochet and tighten it, and you're just going to continue for 4 more shells, and at that point you'll be at the back of the dress. and we'll be ready to move on to the next round. Okay guys, so we're now at the back, and we want to, again, as always, slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And I want to show you what the dress is looking like now. So now you have created the top of your dress. And this is where your sleeves are. I mean, guys, be still my heart. Like, this little bundle of joy is going to adore this outfit. I'm so excited that I was able to find this pattern and complete it. So now we're going to just continue for however many rows you want, however long you want it. If you don't want it to be a dress, you can basically make it a top, a tunic. But we're going to keep going. And the pattern does not change now. We're doing 1 double crochet, 5 double crochet, 1 5 1 5 all the way across, and in between you're going to join your rounds, chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and you're going to continue the pattern. And I'm just speeding it up for you guys a little bit. This entire project for me, excuse me, I was able to finish in one night, maybe like 3 hours, and that's just with me taking breaks. Again, it's very simple. I would say it can be completed at the minimum, maybe an hour and a half, depending on your ability and your speed. So it didn't take a long time to do this. Like, I feel like I can pump out so many of these dresses. So when you get back, the reason I wanted to show you guys, when you get back around, just make sure that you don't go up into the sleeves when you are crocheting. So you want to make sure that you don't go into the sleeves. You're just going to keep going right around. And at the end of that row, I'm going to slip stitch it. Chain my 3, and I'm going to continue. So guys, this is pretty much the length that I wanted my dress. My dress is going to be for a size 6 to 12 months, and I continued for 11 additional rows once I got to finish the sleeve part. So from rows, after row 7, I did 11 additional rows. So I just want to show you guys how I'm going to finish it off. It's really simple. I'm just going to, I have 2 more clusters left. So again, we're going to go ahead into the middle of the previous cluster, top of the middle, and create another cluster of 5. Now this is my last cluster of 5. And guys, for the spring and summer, if you wanted a lighter version, or, definitely check out the type of yarn you would want to use. There's soft yarn, a little softer, for babies that you can use as well. or thinner yarn that you can use for the summertime. So again, I'm slip stitching into the top of that chain 3, and I'm going to pull that all the way through, and I'm going to cut it off. And guys, I didn't have my scissors on hand, and I did not feel like getting up to get them. So basically, you would just cut this off. Leave a little bit of room so that you can weave in your ends to the bottom of the dress, and then you are good to go. Like, guys, awesome. Make sure that you thumbs up this video again, and hopefully we can bring you many, many more easy patterns. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be blessed, and most importantly, be a blessing. LWL. Smooches, guys. Mwah.